Alrighty, welcome back to episode 2, everyone. Today we will be focused primarily on expanding, getting our economy started, and just very much doing the very basic things to get going here. So, with that said, there are a couple things that I needed to clarify from episode 1. The first one, as I said, when I founded my first city for the Sait family, that I would not get a scout. That is not true. Anytime you settle your capital, you get one scout. If I were to have settled it with a different family, then there was a possibility that I could have gotten the additional scout on top of this one here. So it was a bit of me misspeaking kind of there. And the second one was how the technology tree worked here. The way that I had described it as these ones that were highlighted in red were actually the ones that were available to me. While this is true, it's not entirely true. The thing that I was missing are these ones that are highlighted in blue here. The ones that were highlighted in blue were trapping, divination, and administration when I was talking about it. And if you look down here in the bottom left, you can see the key. These were the ones that were available to research. And then the ones highlighted in red were the ones that were in my discard pile. So the next time that I have tech come in and I have to make a choice for tech here, I am sure that out of the, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the 8 options that I'm going to have available to me, some of them are going to be shuffled to be available for me, or some of them are going to be in my discard pile where I will not have them available. So we'll be taking a look at that today or in this episode, just to make sure that we know exactly what's going on here. We have 8 years, which means 8 turns until this particular research or technology is researched, and once it is, then we'll be able to kind of take a look at it. One slight optimization that I missed here is I started this this improvement before I established my governor, which means that there will be 1 extra turn added to this. Normally they'll take 2 turns, but we'll take a look at that on turn 2. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and let's move on to turn 2 and see what it has for us. The first thing that we got going on here is a small event here, Rise and Shine. You wake to the familiar dawn chorus of people moving through the palace, the smells of food being prepared in the kitchens below, and the soft but persistent weight resting on your feet. Weight on your feet. Bolting upright, you come face to face with a chicken, nonchalantly sitting on the covers of your royal bed. It rests, watching you without any particular interest, with only the occasional cluck, as if it were talking to itself. An experimental shake does nothing to shift the unexpected visitor who, if anything, seems to settle further into its new nest. A couple of options here for our lovely chicken friend here. So we can either get up, and that's going to get us 3 additional orders that we can spend. We can, say screw it and try and sleep still. That's possible, right? That gives us 24 civics that we can use, or we can kill our chicken and get us 36 food. This is an option. I'm not going to kill the chicken. I like my chicken friend. However, I am one to also love sleep, and I love civics, and I don't think that I need the orders on turn 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and sleep a little bit more. And we immediately get hit with air education here. So for those of you that don't know, the old world system works very much like if you've played Crusader Kings, or any of the installments. You have heirs, right? And you are in charge of the education of this individual. So we are going to take a look at our daughter here, our heir. She's age 12, and she's of the age now where she can be educated. So I get to choose how she should study here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at all the different options here. We have philosophy. Philosophy gives us +1 wisdom, which increases our global science yield by 0.7 per turn. And then she becomes a philosophy student. If she excels, she could become a tactician, a zealot, a judge, a builder, or a scholar, right? This is definitely something to look at. In my opinion, this is probably one of the better options to study, but that's just me. The tactician is allowed to counterattack during melee if they are a general. As a leader of the nation, when she inevitably inherits my kingdom, she'll give +2 vision range, and then ranged units will be hidden in friendly or neutral trees. she'll also have a couple of different perks here that you can see about her opinion and what she prefers. Zealot is much the same here, but as a general, the unit cannot die with greater than 1 HP. If she's the leader, there's a 10% enlist chance on kill. So if she kills a unit, there's a chance that she can enlist it as well into her army, and then she has a plus 60 opinion for the leader's religion. And then she can hurry the production with training. This is a very powerful option to go through. So anyway, we could go through with all these different options with Judge, Builder, or Scholar. We already mentioned in the previous episode that a Scholar can reshuffle the technologies whenever we get them. Up here, we can take a look at our discard pile when we reshuffle. We could study politics, which is going to give us charisma, which would give us a global increase of plus 1.5 civics per turn. She becomes a politics student, which can lead to hero, orator, judge, scholar, or diplomat. You'll notice that there are some repeats on this one. She could study tactics, which will give her courage, which would give plus 3 training per turn. Could be a hero, commander, technician, zealot, or schemer. Or she could study commerce, which would give her plus 1 discipline here, which would increase my income by plus 12 gold per turn. She could become a commander, schemer, orator, builder, or diplomat. Like I said earlier, I think that philosophy is one of the best ones. Plus, I really enjoy the science yields. So I'm going to go ahead and have her study philosophy. And then take a look at our turn here. Now, the most powerful thing that you can do in the early game is go around with your scout and harvest resources. There are resources all over the map that you can harvest. That'll get you, different benefits and different bonuses that we can go over as we take a look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head this way. I'm going to go to this little shrine here, and when I click on it, I'm going to get an event. This event is called Survivors. It says that this village has only recently been sacked, and we discovered a band of survivors huddled in its ruins. These destitute refugees seem eager to abandon the wreckage of their old lives and join our nation, but they are strangers to our culture. What will you do with them? We can invite them to resettle into our nation, which will allow us to gain a worker, and it's a very powerful event here. If we were to get another worker, we can start making just greater and greater improvements within our country here of Waset, right? Or if we wanted to, we could choose Hardened Explorers, which would give me 3 additional orders this turn, and I would also gain an additional Scout. I am going to go with the second option here because I believe that a Scout is going to be a little bit more powerful in the early game, and the benefits of it is just going to be better for me overall. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to recruit them as Hardened Explorers, and I'm gonna get my second Scout here. And with that second Scout, I am going to immediately head in this direction here. And boom, wow, okay. So I discovered a landmark, Shaib al-Banat, which is this mountain range right here. I'm going to leave everything labeled as it is because I find that more immersive than trying to rename it as something silly. And I'm really bad at naming things. So I'm going to leave it named as is. And you'll also notice here that I gain plus 2 legitimacy from this. Now, legitimacy is a resource here that your founder accumulates, or excuse me, not your founder, the leader of your country accumulates. Now, legitimacy improves people's opinions of you. It also gives you additional orders per turn, the greater that you get, right? And a couple things that you can get from that. Legitimacy, it comes from achieving ambitions and acquiring better names, right? And we're going to go over ambitions later. You're going to see different events here, but you can see that the name, the founder, right? Us founding Egypt gave us 10 legitimacy, and then different events, right? We founded a family seat, which gave us plus 4, and then we also named a landmark, this landmark over here. So these events have given us more legitimacy, which is increasing our orders per turn, right? It looks like you get 10% of your legitimacy as orders. So really cool option there. I still have movement with this scout, so I'm going to go ahead and move my scout in this direction, see what I can find. And right away, you can see up here that I see a silver resource. So I'm going to go ahead and pop over here and harvest this silver. You'll notice that I lose an order and I gain gold from doing that. So there appears a symbol on the map. It says a silver needs time to regenerate each year. We're going to throw 1 dice 8 right? And depending upon that dice roll, this silver resource will regenerate, and I'll be able to come back and harvest it when it does. So every turn, I get a new chance to make that happen. With my warrior, I'm going to head down to my city site here and just kind of protect the settler that's going to be coming in 3 turns. I do have additional orders left over, but I don't have any other units that I can use to spend them on, so I'm just going to go ahead and end my turn right there. Alrighty, my second son, or my stepson here, is now old enough to be tutored by courtiers, and I have a marriage offer. Okay, a marriage proposal has arrived from the Said family for you, Queen Hatshepsut, the founder. How shall we respond to their suggestions? All right, well, let's take a look at these 2 fine gentlemen here and see if they are of any value for me. So this individual is 56 years old. Give me 1 second, guys. Keep getting pings here that I shouldn't be getting. Okay. Alrighty. Let's take a look at this marriage proposal again. Or we're going to take a look at the shoemaker. Don't want to take a look at the shoemaker. Okay, back to the marriage. We're going to take a look at the first one, our Bessis individual. He's 56 years old, scholar, governor, spy master. As a governor or spy master, or can become either of those 2. He's cruel, so if I put him as a governor, we're going to get minus 20% growth there. He's equestrian, so we would get new mounted units. Excuse me. If we trained any mounted units, they would get 100 plus 100 XP. He's a drunk, so he has a bunch of charisma, but he lacks a discipline, which would decrease our money income. Globally, he has 3 wisdom, which increases our science yield by 1.5. He has 1 charisma, which gives us 1 civic, and then we have our minus 20 per turn on the income section there. We'll get 40 wood from it and increase our opinion from the Said family. Or we could go to our friend Horemheb, the Spoiled. 47 years old here. He's a schemer, so he could become an agent or a spy master. He's bitter, so we lose charisma. And that charisma loss means that we would get minus 6 civics per turn from that. He's humble, so it gives him plus 1 wisdom and plus 1 discipline. The discipline would increase our money yield. He's also spoiled, which gives us an additional minus 1 charisma and a minus 1 discipline, which negates this in general. So the only thing that we would gain here is science. I don't really think any of these options are that good, so I'm just going to go ahead and say not at this time. Next one is we have the shoemaker. Not permitted to enter the prominent city courts, Princess Nefure, I don't know how to say that, and her friends spend their days in the surrounding market with an erudite shoemaker and his group of merchant philosophers, learning the skills of philosophy and debate. While many formal scholars refuse to recognize such teachings, Neferer, I'm going to go with Neferer, seems to have been enriched by these experiences. All right, so let's see. Not all education is founded in the classroom. If I select this option, she'll become witty, humble, righteous, or bold. Those are all really great options. Or I can scold her for abandoning her formal studies. This will give her plus 1 discipline, which will increase our gold income by 12. We will become strict, which gives our new infantry units 100 XP, and every single one of our cities will gain XP on new infantry units. You know what? I'm going to look to the future here. I want some of these traits on my heir, so I'm going to go ahead and select the first option. We have an event for our son as well. Rumor has it, for better or worse, Duke Thutmose is showing signs of taking after his mother, Isis the Extravagant. How this influence will take shape is yet to be seen. So Nothing is quite so memorable and expensive as a feast for the ages. So, cool. Extravagant, debauched, or pious. I don't really have an option, so I guess I have to do it. He becomes extravagant, which as a trait, if I were to put him in as a governor of one of my cities, would be minus 20%. If he were to become my leader, all my cities would get 10%. It is a weakness, not something that I wanted. We have to kind of deal with it. Commerce doesn't exactly seem like something that I want him studying, consider he is going to be decreasing global yield. So I'm going to put him in tactics because I don't plan on putting him as a governor. I'll probably use him as a general of some sort of the armies, as that seems to be where his strength is going to lie. I have my scouts again, and so I'm just going to go ahead and keep exploring, see if I can find more resources down here somewhere. Oh, okay. The Speculos Valley is what I just found. So that's another +2 legitimacy. Like I said, I'm just going to keep that the same. And I found 2 resources down here. So I'm just going to go down to the first resource and I'm going to harvest this game, which is going to give me +6 food. So I'll go ahead and I'll harvest that and head up here. I also found this game up here. So I'm going to go ahead, harvest that, head off in this direction. And I find an ore vein down here that I can harvest next turn. And I'm now out of turns, or out of units to move. I technically can move this. I don't really want to, though. I just want to protect this city site. So I'm just going to go ahead and end the year and have my excess. Princess Nefure? I can't even remember what I said I'm gonna say it, so I'm gonna butcher it every single time. But she debated with merchant philosophers, and she has become bold. Alrighty. So bold is a strength. You have -20 opinion of slothful characters, -20 opinion of timid characters, +20 opinion of bold characters. It's included in strong. It's excluded from not strong. Cool. Alrighty. It also gives us +2 courage, which increases training for our leaders, right? So if she were to become a leader, it would increase our global training. If she were to be a general, it would also do the same for that city. You can see here that the 2 in courage gives us +9 globally already. Cool. We're gonna go ahead and do hit OK there, and then we need to build this second farm. So we're gonna come over here and we're gonna build the second farm. And you'll notice here that when I build this second one, because I already had my governor in, it's going to take me 2 years instead of 3 because I have the perk that it's 1 less year for improvements. I'm going to go ahead and harvest this fur, which is going to give me +6 culture, which is really good. And I'm going to head down in this direction, and then across the river, I found goats, and I also found another shrine over here. Or ancient ruins, excuse me, it's not really a shrine. It looks like a shrine to me. It's ancient ruins. I'm going to go down to the ore, and it looks like I found a ruin. Okay. Ancient carvings have been discovered in a ruin near the Euphrates River. After careful study, the learned members of the Said family claim that it is work by our distant ancestors who once inhabited this region. It is said that they followed a practice where the eldest was the leader of the tribe. The Said family encourage you to resurrect the practice in Egypt to pay respects to those who came before. All right, let's take a look at this. I would get a free law, which is seniority, which replaces primogeniture. So seniority means the oldest dynasty member inherits. Succession is the absolute cognatic primogeniture. This doesn't change my heir at all, but it does replace just normal primogeniture. Ah, I see. So it's the difference between the oldest dynasty member and the oldest child. This could get interesting. They gained 40 opinion of me, but other than that, that's just... Okay, no, I'm going to go ahead and refuse this. I want the legitimacy that comes from this. This is going to give me more orders to use with. And personally, I don't feel like dealing with the dynasty the dynasty changes. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to harvest this fur. And if I had more orders, I'll harvest that for next turn here. Next turn, we're going to have our settler, and we'll get to work on that next time. Or on the next turn. I'm not leaving you guys, I promise. Alrighty, first settler, move them on down towards our city-state here. Now, we can't quite get to the city site, but I am looking to settle right here. And the reason that I want to settle right here is you see that it encompasses all 3 camps and also allows me multiple areas where I can build quarries. And like I said at the beginning here, quarries are something that we need. It's something that we want in order to build wonders, as they are such an important part of the Egypt economy. So I'm going to come over here. And now that I'm idle, I'm going to start working immediately on a farmer. The farmer is going to give me growth. It's going to give me +1 science, and then also give me +3 food per year. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build that specialist. Now, how specialists work in the economy is you can kind of see down here that I have total citizens 3, and I have available citizens 2 and 1 queued citizen, right? These citizens need to be put to work for additional bonuses. We can put them in and train them as specialists, and that's where you see the queued citizens. So this farmer that I have queued is one of the 3 that you see here. Being ready to come over and work this farm tile. If you've ever played Civilization 6, think of it as a citizen working a specific tile, but you have to train them in order to become a specialist and in doing so. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to train that, and what will end up happening is when we do train that specialist, we'll gain additional benefits like we already discussed, and then it'll also expand our borders a little bit as well, which will help us once this worker becomes free so that we can improve the last sorghum resource in our capital. Alrighty, I'm going to continue to harvest resources here. Get me some sheep, which is going to give me food, and I discovered a barbarian camp, which we will deal with our warrior, and oh my goodness, another one. All right, the Rhodanus River. I get another +2 legitimacy because I was the first to discover that landmark. I'm going to leave it as it is there and take my legitimacy. And I have discovered the Numidians. So the Numidians are a tribe, which is different from barbarians. We have different diplomatic options that we can do with them. And they arrive in my capital bearing an introductory gift of iron. The leader of the delegation explains that the Numidians have long gathered and mined iron to trade with their neighbors. Don't really feel like going to war. I value the legitimacy. I think the legitimacy would be really good, but I don't really feel like going to war. So I'm going to maintain the truce here just because it's easier for me. And then next turn I'll come back here to the sheep, and I'll harvest those sheep for resource. Okay. I'm going to come down here for my goats, and I found another tribe. The Danes have sent us a charming emissary who responds to every query with a smile and a pleasant reply. After all, she says, in the battle for peace, a smile is the best weapon. I rather think that weapons are the best weapon. I get legitimacy here, but like I said, same reasoning. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep the peace there. I'm gonna walk down to these goats. I'm gonna harvest that resource, and then next turn I'll harvest goats, and then head up towards our ancient ruins here. And then that about does it. I don't have any more orders that I can work with here, so let's proceed. Alrighty, uncanny. Whispers of Princess Neferures. Neferure? Uncanny abilities have reached the court, causing a stir among scientists and scholars. According to Academy gossip, Neferure spends her days locked in a makeshift laboratory, unraveling the mysteries of man and nature. Many wish to summon her and probe her mind for knowledge, but we must remember she is still a child. All right, so I can gain +24 science immediately. That would go a long way. In fact, that would actually complete the administration science. So that's important, or that is a beneficial argument. Or we can leave her. She would gain 40 XP and she would become inspiring or insane. I don't really want her to become insane. I like the science yields that she's gaining, and just overall as a character. So rather than risk it, I think that inspiring is a fantastic strength, right? And it would give us a lot of culture. Um, but it's not something that I'm willing to risk. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take the science. You can see that it immediately completed my technology, which is fantastic. And the next available technologies that drew for me were a stone boost, where I could get 200 stone. This is very valuable to me. Same with the free worker is also very valuable to me. These are one-time technologies that will not be repeated if I disregard them. However, as we already said before, the camp is something that I'm going to need with my newest city that I'm about ready to settle this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to settle this city here, and I am going to settle with the religious civ here, or the religious family civ. Give me a break. Alrighty, and I founded Judaism, and I am now known as the settler. Perfect. So right away, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started on a worker. A worker is needed to improve our economy, and I'm going to get over here and I'm going to start working on quarries while we research our trapping over the next 7 turns. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to come down here and I am going to create the Hanging Gardens. Now the Hanging Gardens is a wonder that would take me 9 turns to create, but it would also give me 2 victory points. It would increase the growth as well as the culture per year that I get. I can build it anywhere as long as it's along a river. So I'm going to build it right here. You'll see here that I don't actually have enough wood. Right, I have 165 wood, so in order to buy enough wood, I would need to spend 141 gold, which I do have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Alt and then just go ahead and click on this, and that's going to automatically buy the wood for me and begin constructing the Hanging Gardens. That's going to be something that's very valuable to me, and so we'll get started right away. Next, with the remaining orders, I'm going to go through and do what I said that I was going to do, and harvest these sheep. Harvest these sheep, harvest these sheep, and with this one, I'm going to come up here and I'll harvest those immediately next turn. With my warrior, I am going to move over towards the barbarian, see if I can't clear that out, so I could use that as a city location next for my next city. Alrighty, Judaism was founded. The descendants of Prophet Abraham have settled the city of Heka? Sure. Bringing Judaism into the world, the Jewish believers worship God through sacrifice and the reading of their sacred texts given by God to the prophet Moses. Their dedication is such that they won't pray to any other gods and strictly follow the laws set out by their religious creed. Will you support this new religion? If I invite them to court, then Judaism gets plus 40 opinion of me for 40 years, but I get minus 50 civics. I could ask for a copy, which would gain 50 civics, or this does not concern me. So the difference is going to be whether or not I want to spend and gain opinion or not spend and gain civics. So I can take a look at this here. The holy religion, Judaism, has no opinion of me at the moment and has a 9% chance per year of spreading to new cities. Each Jewish city gets me plus 2 culture per year. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to invite them to our court. I'll spend the civics and get the opinion from the Jewish leaders there, and hopefully by being appealing with the Jewish faith, we can earn different benefits. Actually, adding a state religion improves that religion's opinion, reduces discontent in cities of that religion, also enables the recruitment of disciples in the city for world religions. I've personally never been a religious individual in this game, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna adopt Judaism. Oh, I can't. I need 400 civics. Okay, I will save up to adopt Judaism as my state religion. Perfect. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Isis the Extravagant has converted to Judaism. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Isis. The people of Tehka have invited you to attend a celebration of their local cult. The Reed Man is said to have saved the city many years ago. How many years? I founded it last turn. The streets fill with people asking for protection in the years to come. The actual worship takes place at night as a young buck is slaughtered over a low altar where the blood flows across the sacred ground, said to be the tomb of this ancient hero. Okay. End the festivities with a speech praising the city's hospitality. All right, minus 120 discontent, or end the festivities with a speech praising the revered hero. I don't really have a whole lot of discontent in the city. You can actually go ahead and click on this and look at the discontent level. It's actually at 0. It's gaining +2 per turn, but it would take 49 turns before we even reach level 1. So I don't really feel the need to have a minus 120. I don't believe that you can go negative in the category, though I've never really tried. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the culture as my resource there, and I get another event here for my queen. Although Egypt has no state religion, many people follow their own faiths and practices. The Jewish priests of Teheka say that the support of God will only strengthen your rule and offer to teach you about their ways. Will you accept? Sure. I want my state religion to be Jewish, so go ahead and teach me your ways. I'll convert. And then I get another event. Man, we are on the event train today. As the laws of the court are read out to the people, the court themselves are engaged in celebration and merriment. One of the court scholars rises to give a speech. A civilization is not a static being, but a dynamic entity built on the decisions of the people within. The laws of Egypt have taken their first shape, painting a picture of our future. Praise to Queen Hatshepsut the settler. As you reflect on your path, ambition swells from within. What shape do you wish for this fledgling nation? Alrighty, so here's the first important part of the campaign, or I shouldn't say the first important part, but here's something to pay attention to. You can see up here in the top that you have victory conditions, and I could get victory conditions from the level of my cities, from industrial progress, military prestige, economic reform, and from wonders. If I were to reach 60 at this point in time, then I would be declared the winner, but there's also a second victory condition based off of your ambitions. If I were to complete 10 of those ambitions, I would win the game. And here is where we decide which of those ambitions we are going to pursue. So, I'm not really a military individual in this game, right? I'm not opposed to it, just not something that I want to pursue this game. So this one doesn't seem to be a great option for me. I don't want to train soldiers to stand above all others. And it's kind of the same for this one. Starts ambition to clear 3 tribal sites. Not really something that I want to do. I really enjoy the tribal units that we have over here with the Numidians, right? So I don't really want to mess that up, and I definitely don't want to clear those sites just yet. I may come down here and clear out the Danes as I expand southward, but I want to keep the Numidians and at least keep one relationship with that site there. So. Taking a look at this, the only other one that I have is the research and thought will guide our path, which means that I have to discover 6 technologies. So I'm going to go ahead and start that ambition, which should be easy enough to do as we progress throughout this game. With my warrior, I'm going to go ahead and start moving my warrior up to this barbarian camp up here. And I'm going to take my scout and continue exploring. I'm going to get these fur and head to these horses, get these horses, and then I'll head down to the ore on the next turn. This one here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to harvest the goats and head on up to our ancient ruins, and gives us an event here. Our explorers discover a cache of yellow star charts in the ruins. The former inhabitants must have been a tribe of great navigators. Who should receive these charts? Our scouts, we gain 5 orders, and I gain an additional scout, or our astronomers, I gain a court scholar, which is a new courtier. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say astronomers, and I'm going to get Senusret, or Senusret. Yeah, the scientist. A new court scholar has joined the court. His curiosity and insight will aid Egypt in unraveling the mysteries of the world. Perfect. If I were to put him in as a governor, he unlocks inquiry. He's given us our increase in science yield because he has 5 wisdom. If I were to put him in as governor, mines and quarries would give me additional plus 50% output. That might be a wonderful governor for this city because I do plan on having quite a bit of quarries surrounding these mountains here. So when I do unlock the ability to get a governor in this city, I think that that would be fantastic for him. Alrighty. I have 4 more orders that I can use. So I'm going to go ahead and keep exploring with my scout here. And oh my goodness, I discovered the Nile. All right, give me more legitimacy. I will take all the legitimacy. And I found some gold over here. I'm going to go ahead and harvest that, and then maybe go around and harvest all this salt and the game over here as well. This city site is definitely going to be something that's important. You can see its closeness to this mountain range over here. Is going to be important for us to settle. That's probably where our next settler is going to go, so that way we can keep that going. Okay, that is going to be it for this episode. We've started the expansion. Thank you guys for tuning in here. In our next episode, we are going to continue to expand and build up our economy. We will look into building up enough civics to adopt the state religion. I do not know if that's going to happen in the next episode, but we will do our best to continue going. I hope you all are enjoying. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Thanks.